Hello and welcome back to the Reapers. Today we're in our Mig-19P and we're looking at using air-to-air missiles. So, straight to the armament screen, we've got in pylons 1 and 6, one missile available air-to-air. It's a K-13A and the NATO name is Stahl.
AA2 ATOL, they're also known as R3Ss.
3Ss. They are
Copy.
heat-seeking missiles with a passive infrared skimbled sensor on the front. One thing to mention is that there is no IFF facility with these missiles, so you have to judge what is a hostile and friend by eye. Regards to the range, as per the manual, it says 8 kilometers. Now we think that's incredibly ambitious. Realistically, against a target that's, you can only fire, it's a rear aspect seeker head only, so it can only fire at a target when his rear is to you. So you can only fire when you're on his 6. And realistically, about 2 miles, 3 kilometers, absolute max, as long as the target is a lot slower than you, basically. Otherwise, about 1 to 1.5 miles, we think. So just take that in mind. In the manual, it says a minimum range of 900 meters. I personally don't think that's accurate. That is 1.6 miles, something like that. And all of the other Sidewinder variants are more like 0.25 miles. So I personally don't think that's accurate, but that's what it says in the manual. It is essentially a copy of Sidewinder Bravo. What happened was in the Korean War, I think it is, one of those Bravo missiles got stuck in the side of a MiG-15, did not explode, and was copied into the ATOL.
17 actually.
A MiG-17? Well, I stand corrected.
Yeah, got stuck in the tail of a MiG-17, didn't blow up, and they managed to land it safely, although it was heavily damaged, and then they reverse engineered it.
Roger that. Maximum velocity of the missile is Mach 2.5. Regards ranging, it is possible to range with our radar here, but that is for another video. We are just optically firing it today. For it to work, we need to have some instruments on in our master panel here on the right. We need to have 0 or 057K on. It's also a good idea to have your sight heating and your sight on. On the left here, we want to have it turned to guided missiles, and as soon as you do that, we can hear the tone. That tone is the tone where it's not detecting a heat source, a viable lock heat source. That tone will increase in pitch if it does see a heat source, and we'll go through that in the air. Just going to turn it off for now. We can fire them if we have set to 1 rocket. We can fire 1 at the press of a button, or auto. We can press. It will fire both when you press the trigger with 1.2 seconds in between. And we've got a massive 1 button that we need to show today to fire it. We're firing in the trigger. Okay, so we've got our missiles armed. We've got them set up. We're ready to go. So let's get in the air and give these a try.
Release in 3, 2, 1, gate. And rotate. Europe.
We've got some beautifully placed big B-52s in front of us that we're going to go shoot down. Reminder, rear aspect only, so we have to get behind the target to use these. Okay, we've got some bad guys. We're going to activate our missiles, guided missiles there. We've got our tone. Just going a little bit closer. To fire these missiles, we will press and hold the trigger when we get a lock. And you can see we've got a lock now. Now, interestingly, I'm not even really behind him. I guess you technically consider that a rear aspect lock. And out of interest, I'm going to fire now. I don't know what the range is, but I just want to see how well these missiles work from long range. Cap Fox 2. Just going to go and pull the lead.
For the record, about 4.5 miles.
Oh, no chance. No chance these are going to hit. Yep, so that gave up about a third of the way.
You can also see what happens when you're trying to do this while pulling literally any G.
Ah, we've got to mention that. Right, so you can only launch these missiles at a maximum of 2G pull, and then, am I correct in saying they will refuse to launch?
Yeah, they're just like off the rails.
So if you're on a dogfight, then you won't be able to fire them above that. You have to wait until you're more or less straight. Oh, look, a guy's dodging. Was that you?
Jesus, you just fired a missile through me.
I haven't fired a missile.
It was my own that just blacked out then, I guess.
Nice. Okay, Cap's going to fire at this dude. Hey, dude! Guess on. Fox 2. Whoa, it's gone to another guy completely. And it turned round, literally.
What just happened? I just watched that launch. That literally looked like an aim that next.
So we think that these missiles may be a little bit bugged, but just to make sure, I'm going to go and get 2 more, and we're going to shoot something down. So we discovered why that missile just shot for left all of a sudden. I was aiming at the correct guy, but because the missile, it doesn't really lock onto anything per se, especially these old missiles. As soon as it's fired, it's going to track the hottest thing in the air. And the hottest thing in the air at that point was that guy on full throttle and firing those flares. And so it changed its mind. It decided to go 90 degrees left. And that's a really important thing to learn. Don't fire at a target when you've got a friend in the area, because invariably your friend will have hotter engines and that missile, K-13, will just decide to go for a friend instead. Right, we're going to go shoot one down. It's going to happen. That's an interesting path for landing. No. Ooh! That could have been painful. Out of interest, let's test the side lock ability. Make sure we can't get a side lock. It is indeed correct. Oh no, I can get a side lock from the front/side. So it appears that there's some inaccuracy there, because they are definitely rear aspect only, those K-13s.
Well, I mean, from really close ranges, you should still be able to lock things.
That wasn't close range, that was 2.5 miles. That's interesting, that is.
It would be interesting actually to compare this to the Sabres missiles or the Beacons 24s, because they're pretty much...
Roger. Right, I'm going to shoot this little man here, and he's going to die. Got everything in my favour. I've got altitude, the range is perfect. Preparing to fire, and cap. Fox 2. Woo! Here, dead man. Here, dead man. Got him! Let's finish him off, Charles. Hey, monkey, where are you going? Woo! So much for the 900 metres minimum range. I shot him at probably 200 metres. Right, that's it. We got there in the end. Right, I hope that helps. See you later.